Good tidings, ladies and gentlemen of the Lodge, and welcome back. Today's video is going to be focused on Final Fantasy VII Remake and its incoming sequel. So let this be a spoiler warning not only for Final Fantasy VII Remake and its DLC, but for the original Final Fantasy VII as well as its compilation material. Now, with that said, let's get on and get after it. Final Fantasy VII Remake burst onto the scene in April of 2020, and it wasn't long before fans figured out that something peculiar was going on. Specifically, that both Sephiroth and Aerith seemed to have knowledge of the events that took place in the original. Especially Aerith. Roll the tape.
Everyone dies eventually.
I don't know. Is Corneo the kind of guy who'd make up shit just to screw with you?
I wouldn't put it past him.
But if he was telling the truth, and there's still a chance he was, isn't there? Then we should go.
I need you to...
Get Marlene to safety, right? It's okay. I'll find her.
Aerith, what are you not telling me?
I could keep piling these on, but we would be here all day. So let's move forward. With both Aerith and Sephiroth having knowledge and awareness of the events of the original, it fairly heavily implies that this time around, the two of them might make different decisions. At least, in Aerith's case, we can see that she makes more of an effort to get along with Tifa. She's much more careful when dealing with Cloud's psychosis, and she is slowly dripping information onto the rest of the party. But now, we have to ask ourselves, what differences will Sephiroth make? What sorts of decisions will he come to make now that he has selective knowledge of the original occurrence of events? Well, first let's establish what is Sephiroth's goal here. It should be quite clear in both original and remake that Sephiroth is trying to break Cloud. Because as we know, if Sephiroth can break Cloud enough, it makes him more susceptible to control. And that's all Cloud is to Sephiroth, a potential tool that he can wield. Let's take our eyes over to the original, and again, major spoiler warning here. So right before Sephiroth descends to kill our beloved Aerith, Cloud, susceptible to his deception, motions to do it himself, before the party members cry out and snap him out of it. It's only after Cloud snaps out of it that Sephiroth descends to do the deed himself. Now, my next point is admittedly conjecture, but hear me out. Could it be that Sephiroth thought it best to break Cloud by having him be the one to kill Aerith? Because, as we know, Cloud experienced a lot of despair and depression in the aftermath of Aerith's death, both in OG and Advent Children. But ultimately, Cloud was able to transcend this suffering and defeat Sephiroth again. Now, if you're Sephiroth, you realize that killing Aerith was a huge mistake. Why so? Well, at the very end of the original Final Fantasy VII, Aerith comes to foil Sephiroth's plan. It was his decision to kill Aerith that gave our ragtag group of misfits a trump card to saving them from Sephiroth and Jenova's wrath. You also realize that while the death of Aerith was traumatic for Cloud, it wasn't enough to completely break his spirit. Now the key question, why? Why wasn't it enough to break him? Well, the answer is, because of Tifa. Both in the original Final Fantasy VII as well as Advent Children, Tifa was the one who held Cloud together. I mean, literally, when Cloud's mind completely shatters in the original, Tifa is the one who pieces him back together. Without Tifa there would be nobody who could bring Cloud back from the void. No other members of the party have as close a connection to Cloud, especially when you consider that the two of them knew each other since they were children. Now posit this. If you're Sephiroth and your plans failed the first time because A, killing Aerith sent her into the lifestream, which allowed her to cast Holy when our party needed it most, and B, because Tifa's love and care for Cloud kept him from falling apart after Aerith's death. Now, if you're Sephiroth, how might you alter your plan to succeed this time around? Would you not shift your target from Aerith to Tifa? Would you not target the one person who can repair Cloud's broken mind? I mean, why the hell would you kill Aerith again, right? So she could mess up the whole plan? I don't know. If we are to believe that Final Fantasy VII Remake is essentially our second lap through these occurring events, if Sephiroth has knowledge of all this, it would make all of the sense in the world. He wouldn't dare make the same mistake twice, and might instead set his eyes on another target, one that might permanently break Cloud forever. My friends, it brings me no joy to consider the idea that Sephiroth will change his plan and target Tifa, but I know I'm not alone in the suspicion that the Sephiroth we see before us has knowledge of the events of the original, and if that truly were the case, I cannot fathom why he would want to kill Aerith again. If his intentions are to break and collapse Cloud's mind for the betterment of his overall plan, I'm afraid that someone else is at the top of Sephiroth's hit list. Only time will tell, and maybe, just maybe, if it comes down to Aerith or Tifa, the choice may inevitably be ours. Because I know I'm not the only one who got a chill down their spine when they saw this scene. So ladies, gentlemen, sickos, and normies, thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, consider looking up my Final Fantasy VII podcast, The Midgar Minute, on Spotify, Apple, and wherever else you get your podcasts. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. Have an incredible rest of your day. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see all of you beautiful sickos and normies next time.